Hi guys, my name's Margie. I'm a grateful recovering addict. I'm bringing you a Narcotics Anonymous meeting today. First, I want to start with a moment of silence to reflect on why we're here. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. Amen. First, I'm going to start with who is an addict out of the basic text. Give me 1 second to pull that up. Who is an addict? Most of us do not have to think twice about this question. We know. Our whole life and thinking was centered on drugs, in one form or another. The getting and using and finding ways and means to get more. Very simply, an addict is a man or a woman whose life is controlled by drugs. We are people in the grip of a continuing and progressive illness for whose ends are always the same: jails, institutions, and death. What is the Narcotics Anonymous program? NA is the nonprofit fellowship or society of men and women for whom drugs have become a major problem. We have recovering addicts who meet regularly to help each other stay clean. This is a program of complete abstinence from all drugs. There's only one requirement for membership: the desire to stop using. We suggest that you keep an open mind and give yourself a break. Our program is a set of principles written so simply that we can follow them in our daily lives. The most important thing about them is that they work. There are no strings attached to NA. We're not affiliated with any other organizations. We have no initiation fees or dues, no pledges to sign, no promises to make to anyone. We're not connected with any political, religious, or law enforcement groups and are under no surveillance at any time. Anyone may join us regardless of race, sexual identity, creed, religion, or lack of religion. We are not interested in what or how much you used, who your connections were, what you have done in the past, how much or how little you have, but only what you want to do about your problem and how we can help. The newcomer is the most important person at any meeting because we can only keep what we have by giving it away. In our group experience, we have learned that those who keep coming to our meetings regularly stay clean. And I'm going to do the front side of how it works, and then we do recover, and that's all for the readings. How it works. If you want what we had to offer and are willing to make the effort get it, then you are ready to take certain steps. These are the steps that made our recovery possible. We admitted that we were powerless over our addiction, that our lives had become unmanageable. We came to believe that a power greater than ourselves could restore us to sanity. We made a decision to turn our will and our lives over to the care of God as we understood Him. We made a searching and fearless moral inventory of ourselves. We admitted to God, to ourselves, and to another human being the exact nature of our wrongs. We were entirely ready to have God remove all these defects of character. We humbly asked Him to remove our shortcomings. We made a list of all persons we had harmed and became willing to make amends to them all. We made direct amends to such people wherever possible, except when to do so would injure them or others. We continue to take personal inventory, and when we were wrong, promptly admitted it. We sought through prayer and meditation to improve our conscious contact with God as we understood Him, praying only for knowledge of His will for us and the power to carry that out. Having had a spiritual awakening as a result of these steps, we tried to carry this message to addicts and to practice these principles in all our affairs. We do recover. When at the end of the road, we find that we can no longer function as a human being, either with or without drugs, we all face the same dilemma. What is there left to do? There seems to be this alternative. Either go on as best we can to the bitter ends, jails, institution, and death, or find a new way to live. In years gone by, very few addicts ever had this last choice. Those who are addicted today are more fortunate. For the first time in man's entire history, a simple way has been proven to us all in the lives of many addicts. It is available to us all. This is a simple spiritual, not religious program known as Narcotics Anonymous. Thank you for letting me read. First, I want to start off by saying Narcotics Anonymous has truly changed my life. You know, I'm born and raised in Baltimore City. I was the type of addict that at the end, I sold my body 24 hours a day. I got high every hour, every day. I lived in abandoned houses. I had guns put to my head on a regular. I was raped. I was beaten. I never overdosed, but I damn sure tried to because I didn't want to live. You know, at the end, I would have rather died than wake up and live one more day like that. I prayed for a miracle every day because I was, you know, caught up in the grips. Like it had me and it was not letting go. I was born and raised in Baltimore City, in the decent part, you know, not the drug-infected area. I had a good family. My mom was a stay-at-home mom. You know, she cleaned, cooked dinner every night. My father died when I was 10. He was hit by a car. It was very sudden. He was my best friend, and that was when my life went to shit. My stepfather, we didn't get along when I was a child because Margie wanted to do what Margie wanted to do. And if you tried to get in my way, well, fuck you. You know, that was my attitude, especially after my father died. It was like, I'm going to get and do what I want. And if you get in my way, well, something's going to fucking be done. Because unless you're helping me get or use, there's no place for you. As a small child, I can remember overeating or overdoing things. You know, my mom saying, here's 2 cookies, and me going back that night and taking 10. Or how about on Thanksgiving Eve, me going and getting the 2 cheesecakes out the fridge and eating every bit until I got sick. You know, I can remember stuff like that and think back on it and know that, you know, I was an addict. That's why I was doing it. I've been to about 15 rehabs, 20 detoxes, 4 recovery houses. I've been to prison probably about 6 years out of my life. I was raped 4 times in 1 year because I was out trying to make money, selling my body. And, you know, that's what comes along with that life. Thank God I never was killed. I've had bags tied around my head. I've had, you know, guns put in my head. I've had guns in my mouth. At 18, I found out I was HIV positive. I was in jail doing a couple months for a petty drug charge, and I found out. And you see, with me, it was a matter of if I would get it. It was a matter of when. Because if I wanted to get high and I didn't have a needle, then it didn't matter. I would use anybody else's. It didn't matter because I just wanted to get high. I didn't care what you had. I wouldn't even ask. I would just use your shit. So when I got HIV, I found out I had it. It wasn't that big to me because I knew that was going to happen. Eventually, I knew it. With the shit that I was doing, I was prone to get it. So I've always been very open about it. That's not an issue for me. But see, I always wanted to fit in. I hated myself from a very young age. And I had to do everything I could to get people to like me. So if I had to get high for you to like me, oh well. And that's where the drug use started from an early age. Was I wanted to fit in. I wanted to do what everybody else was doing. I was bullied as a child. I was told that I was less than. I would never amount to shit. And that stayed with me for a long time. A very long time. I just celebrated 90 days clean. And I'll never look back. I will never look back. I have a sponsor that I talk to every day. I cannot go a day without talking to her because I didn't go a day without my drugs. I go to as many meetings as I can, 4 or 5 times a week. Sometimes I can only get there 3 times a week. I don't drive. But I do what I have to do to get to a meeting. I fellowship, I network. I never worked my whole addiction, my whole life until I got in recovery. And I start a job this upcoming Tuesday. I'm very excited about. I'm in an abusive relationship right now, emotionally abusive, that I'm trying to get out of. And I know that I have to get a job. That's the only way I'm going to get out of this. But I can honestly say I do have a life beyond my wildest dreams. Because I never thought I would have friends that call me every day, that want to talk to me, that invite me to their parties, that want me around. I never had nobody want me around. They fucking hated me, man, because I was embarrassing. But now I have friends that love me and want me there for them. I have a mother that trusts me with her credit card. I have a father that trusts me in his house when he's not there. Like I said, I have a stepfather, but I do consider him my dad. Life is good today. Yeah, everything don't go my way, but life is good because of the Narcotics Anonymous program. I cannot stress that enough. Without NA, I'm nothing but a junkie on the fucking corner in Baltimore City. My name's Margie. Thanks for allowing me to share.